What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video that's been requested a lot, is how I maintain this tank, what I do to it, what I use to clean it. So as you guys can see, it is quite dirty right now. It's been about 2 weeks since I've cleaned the tank. You can see all the algae on the acrylic and whatnot, and then we've got corals falling over, all kinds of stuff. So today we're gonna go over kind of how I clean it and everything like that. So to start off with, I'm gonna take off all this crap, put it over to the side. And we're gonna take the lid off. Gonna make a mess. Just try our best not to spill too much. And then we'll turn the return pump off and the ATO. So you guys can see, show you guys a little top down too real quick. Actually, let me throw the filter on it. There you go. It's nasty. Tank has not been cleaned in 2 weeks. Definitely needs it. So I typically just remove stuff from the main display. I don't touch the back portion other than the filter floss, but we'll get to that part. So I actually have just a siphon. It's literally just a hose with a little filter on the end of it. You guys can kind of see in there. So I don't have a pump or anything like that. I just unfortunately try and suck it out and not get salt water in my mouth and spill it everywhere. So as you guys can see, it's starting to flow right now. Let me find usually tuck this thing in here. There we go. I'll show you guys. I just have so it's taking the water down to here and just going into a jug. I use a 2.5 gallon from Top Shelf, which is my local store. And we'll just start taking water out. So I usually try and stop it when it gets to the top of these corals. Try and not make a mess. And then we can set this bin off to the side. So I usually take out about 1.5 gallons, somewhere around there. Then of course you want to have a little towel so you don't make a mess. And then when it comes to cleaning it, I literally just use a cut up magic eraser and a toothbrush. And we'll go around the tank and kind of just clean it. My clownfish is becoming somewhat aggressive and wanting to bite me all the time. So I like to empty it halfway so then it's not like the clownfish can really attack me. But we'll go around and kind of just wet the magic eraser. I'll usually do the top portion first, that's out of the water. And then we'll go back and do the lower portion. So as you guys can see, quite a bit of dirt came out of there. It's all algae buildup and whatnot. One of the hard things to get with these tanks is salt creep. As you guys can see, I have quite a bit of salt creep coming off of there. So usually what I'll do is kind of just scoop it up and then I'll flick it back in. Or I'll take a paper towel, or I could use this actually. Just kind of like that, put it in a bin or something. So what you can do is literally just take a paper towel. I like to get it a little wet. You can use fish water or regular water, and then I'll just try and slide it off. It's gonna make a mess, but it is what it is. and get off as much as possible. Alright, so that handles that part. And as you guys can see, some of the corals are out of the water, that candy cane's out. Some of the other stuff is starting to come out. It's okay to leave corals out of the water for a little bit. It's not gonna hurt them. They last plenty out of the ocean water, so don't worry too much. All right, this is the one annoying part. As you guys can see, my clownfish right there, he's gonna come try and bite me, as he just did there. We're gonna scoot this over. We're just gonna do the bottom portion. We'll make sure you get the corners good, as it does leave some in there. We're gonna try and set this guy up first before I continue going like that. You're gonna make your corals mad. It is okay. Don't worry about it. We're gonna switch to the other side. Bring you guys over here. As you guys can see, that clownfish just wants to keep biting me. This side is always the hardest because there's so many corals over here. I try not to touch them, but unfortunately, it happens. So that should be good when it comes to that portion. Then I'll take just an old toothbrush that I've used for, you know, saltwater cleaning and whatnot. Always clean the grates out. My tank's not too bad. I'll usually use this to clean the back side of the tank. Any places that are hard to reach. This is kind of optional, but I'll do it every once in a while. All right, next up, we'll go ahead and, this is the time if you want to move any corals, go ahead and move them now. So I'm going to look around it, and we're probably going to move some corals because this torch is close, really close to that hammer, so I want to get them out of the sand bed, hopefully. So let me figure that out, and then I'll show you guys what we end up doing with it. All right, guys, so I'm going to show you, we're going to go ahead and pull out that hammer, and we're going to glue it. Grab a set of tongs. Try not to touch the corals as much as possible. Don't want to damage them or harm them. So just dunk them off a little bit real quick. All right. Then we're gonna pull them out. So when it comes to clipping off the plug, try and just use a little pair of clippers that I have. It's gonna shoot the plug probably, but it'll get it off. Maybe not. There we go. Sent that flying. And then I'm gonna pat that off. I've got my glue right here. We'll pop that off. And then looks like this glue, might actually need to put him in there for a second. Looks like this glue is glued shut, so let me grab the other one. open this one up. Yeah, this is what it should look like. We'll grab this guy again. I typically like to dab off the bottom of the plug so it's kind of dry. Put some glue on here. You can use a generous amount. Definitely want to make sure it sticks. And then I'm going to take this one. We're going to try and put him right over here ish. So you're going to want to hold it where you want to put it. Usually the glue cures in a little bit pretty fast. Kind of want to move it around though too. Try and get it in the grooves of the rock. And then you just want to hold it there for a moment. Sometimes you have to add more glue. Sometimes it's a little difficult to make sure it actually sticks in there as this one is being. Yeah, I think we're gonna want to add some more glue on it, which is totally fine. Happens. You guys can't really see, but added a generous amount. Move it back around. And hopefully it's gonna want to stay there now. Hoping might end up coming in contact with that Gani, so it might be actually better to try and put it over here ish. As you can see, my clownfish is still attacking me. It's not very fun, but it is what it is. For some reason, this glue does not seem to want to stick very well. Might be somewhat old. Could be causing an issue. Squish it up together. We finally got it to stay in there a little bit. Alright, and now we can move the torch in this corner over a little bit. Like that. My plate coral can go back where it usually is. And then this Zoa can go down like that. Aw, dang it. Alright. Let me work on trying to get this thing in there. We'll come back to it. Alright guys, so it looks like it was a bad thing of glue. We've got the new one glued in there now. It was this one right here. So what I recommend though, whenever you glue corals, don't add any flow for a good little bit. I usually try and wait like 10 minutes or so. So we're gonna go ahead and take the new fresh salt water and we'll start pouring it in here. Try and pour it onto a rock so it doesn't disturb too much. It's totally fine if you pour it on corals. It's not gonna harm them. You do wanna try and make sure that it's as similar temperature as the rest of the tank. And you wanna always check the salinity, but we'll go ahead and keep filling it up. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and let it sit because I don't want that coral to fall off of or come undone from the glue. So we'll let it sit for 10 minutes and then I'll show you guys what it's looking like. Alright guys, it's been about probably 10 minutes, 10-20 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and finish filling up the tank and we will start it up and get it flowing. I always do recommend changing out your filter floss. So with this tank, all I use is a little filter pad. We'll go ahead and grab the old one and swap in the new one. Let me grab a pair. So we go ahead, old nasty one out. Then we can take the new one and just place it right down in there. Go ahead, fill up the last pitcher of water. I usually take the giant jug and just pour it into a pitcher so that it's not disturbing as much when we pour it in here. That should be pretty good. Turn the pump on. And I usually like to just stay over here because this thing flows down really quick. All right. As you guys can see, the water in the back will continue to flow down, so you just want to stay aware of that. Try and get it in the middle of that sensor right there. As you guys can see, ton of stuff moving around in the tank. I mean, it looks nasty. So let that go around. As you guys can see, just a fresh filter pad in the back. Hopefully collect all that gunk and whatnot flowing around. All right, and then one of the other things I like to do is clean off the lid. So all I'll do is rinse this off and wipe it off, and then it should be good to go. So I'll show you that, guys, in a second. All right, as you guys can see, the lid is all cleaned up. So I'll go ahead and watch you set this to the side for a minute. And we're gonna clean off the acrylic. This is the one I always use. It's from Fritz. It's glass acrylic cleaner. I think it works phenomenal. I usually just do one spritz on the side, use a clean microfiber towel, and I'll usually just go back and forth with it. Sometimes I'll kind of spin it in, and you just want to clean it up as much as possible. Try and get all the fingerprints and everything off. So move this stuff out of the way so we have some more room. As you guys can see how dirty the front of it is. And there you go. So one other thing I always add during a water change is some bacteria. So I use Microbacter 7 and just dose to whatever the cap or the bottle says. I usually do like half a cap, so very small, and then you just want to pour it right into the flow. So that is how I maintain this tank. That's honestly all I do. It probably takes me a total of I don't know, 10-20 minutes usually, if I'm not recording and whatnot. So you guys can see. Then last step is throw the lid on there. Full remaining water, just like that, and we've got a clean tank. Usually it takes about 30 minutes for it to fully clear up, and then it'll look like it's regular colorfulness and clean. So I'll go ahead and show you guys an update when it's been like 30 minutes. You guys can see what it truly looks like, but in reality, these tanks really aren't too bad. I mean, everyone thinks having a small tank or just a saltwater tank in general is a ton of maintenance, but if you keep it simple, it's really not too hard. Just a ton of bacteria. You want to keep as much live rock, and don't overdo it with fish, because they add a ton of bio load. That's why this one's so perfect with just the one fish in here. Makes it super easy. So one other thing is, next video I'm going to do is going to be a full price breakdown. I've gotten a ton of comments on my TikToks and on my YouTube shorts asking how much money it costs to set this up and to be at this point. So I'll kind of give you guys a retail price versus what I paid, because Facebook Marketplace is your best friend for this stuff. So I found a ton of stuff secondhand, and just cleaned it up and done stuff with it. So look out for that. Hopefully I'll get that out next week. And yeah, stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.